Thank you.
I call the next speaker, Lord Moylan.
My Lords, I support this measure, and it's right that the government should take action to protect corporates from insolvency in the current pandemic emergency situation. The explanatory memorandum makes clear that the measures are designed to help UK companies and other similar entities. So I hope I will be forgiven for pointing out that the measures have no effect and give no relief to those running businesses as self-employed persons from the equivalent of corporate insolvency in their case, which is, of course, personal bankruptcy. And I could just say this also applies to the directors of small companies who've been required to give personal guarantees to their creditors and landlords. I take as an example, for the benefit of the committee, a bespoke tailor of my acquaintance. Effectively, his business and the skills he has learnt so hard over the years have been criminalised over the last year. It is, in practice, impossible to do an inside leg measurement without breaching COVID regulations. His past earnings, now very much in the past, exceed the limit for help under the self-employed income scheme that the Chancellor has made available. Of course, he is protected, trading as he does from shop premises, he is protected from eviction, and he has had business rate relief, but he is not immune to personal bankruptcy proceedings brought by his landlord. Now, bankruptcy, even more than corporate insolvency, threatens one's home and one's family and one's reputation in a terrible way. It is a terrible threat to live under. My example, of course, is only there as something emblematic. It applies to the self-employed as a class, especially those trading from business premises, and, as I say, to directors of companies. Short of legislation, because legislation is not the essential answer to everything, short of legislation, there are things the government could potentially do. So, for example, they could prevent such claims from coming before the courts for a period to come, certainly while the pandemic lasts and for a period beyond, in the same way that they have prevented actions for eviction being brought before the courts. They could even use the force of moral suasion, the bully pulpit, if you like, against unscrupulous and unforgiving landlords. And there may be other things that they can do in order to try and get landlords and tenants working better together in a more effective way. I hope that my noble friend will be able to offer some words of support to those in this very difficult position.